Hello, welcome to your home.
This is my home. Why are you here?
I am here to inform you of special education eligibility and services.
But who let you into my home?
That is not important. What is important is that I'm here.
But
I'm here and I will not leave until you are properly informed.
I do not have a child, nor do I have a disability.
That is irrelevant. This information is important.
Why is this information so important?
Our laws state that every student has the right to a free and appropriate public education.
Okay.
And eligibility and services are a cornerstone to getting an exceptional child the benefits they need in order to succeed in school and even the educational playing field.
Is that all? Will you leave my home?
No, I am just getting warmed up.
Hold on.
There are many important laws that shape the way we handle the needs of students with disabilities. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act is one of the biggest laws for educating students with disabilities. It evolved from the Education for All Handicapped Children Act. It requires that all students with disabilities have access to a free, appropriate public education in the least restrictive environment.
Well, that sounds nice, I guess.
It is nice. It also mandates that every student must have an individualized education plan.
What's that?
Just I was getting to it. The IEP must discuss what activities and tests the student may miss out on and justify them. It also asks for a positive behavior plan, and what sort of services the child needs and why. The plan is not something the child must complete to simply shed special education services, but an ongoing guideline for the child and their teachers for how best to help the student succeed.
Oh.
Also, it must identify transition services for a student by age 16. And if a student would be suspended or sent somewhere outside their normal class schedule for more than 10 days, the IEP team must confirm the action that caused the suspension was not a result of the student's disability. Also, it must be within reason. Bringing a gun to school is outside the jurisdiction of the IEP.
Well, that's neat. And will you leave?
No, because before you can get an IEP, you must first be deemed eligible for special education services. The law has very clear guidelines on how one is tested and potentially placed in a special ed program.
That's honestly great.
First, if a child is seen to potentially have a disability, parents may be asked permission for their child to be evaluated or may seek evaluation themselves.
Do you really need parental consent? That seems like a hassle.
Of course you do. It's absolutely required before the evaluation may begin.
Oh, I see.
Then you must evaluate the child within 60 days of that permission. What specific needs do they have? What services might they need? Do they have a disability that warrants services at all?
Okay, so are we done here?
No, if a group of professionals and the parents decide if the child has a disability as defined by IDEA, and if the parents disagree, they may request a hearing to challenge the decision.
Oh, so they have to agree first?
Exactly.
Then what?
If the child is found to have a disability, the teachers and parents have 30 days to write an individualized education program, or IEP.
Why do the parents get to help? That seems counterproductive and awful to deal with.
Because it is their child. Parents must be given ample notice to participate in the IEP meeting, and the schedule must work for both the parents and school. Also, the parents must know why the meeting is being held, where it is, who is arriving, and that they may invite other people with knowledge or expertise to offer in regards to the child.
Okay, and then it's done. We're done here?
Nope, the child's classroom or special ed placement and related services must be cleared with the parent if this is the first time they're appearing on the child's IEP.
What if the parents don't want their child in special ed? Is this over then?
No, of course not. The parents have the opportunity to ask for mediation, or they may file a state complaint with the state education agency or a due process complaint, which is the first step in requesting a due process hearing.
My oven is on and I think it may explode.
Ignore that as irrelevant. What is relevant is the fact that after the IEP is written, parents receive a copy and all of the child's instructors get a copy with clear instructions on what their responsibilities are. The IEP includes what accommodations, modifications, and supports must be provided to the child.
What can those be? I really need you to leave.
I'm not there yet. Nothing is as important as this. Once the child has an IEP, their progress towards listed goals are measured and parents are regularly informed of progress. IEPs must be reviewed at least once a year. Parents are invited to these review sessions and changes to the IEP are made if necessary. Parents can go through the same channels as before if they want to raise a complaint about the IEP or the team if they feel like their voice is not being heard.
So that's it, we're done here?
Of course not. Every 3 years the child must be re-evaluated. The child is double-checked to confirm they have a disability as defined by ID and their educational needs are examined and defined. The child can be re-examined more often if a teacher or parent asks.
Finally.
Yes, that's all there's to eligibility.
Okay, great, now leave. I need to check the oven right now.
Well, while I'm here, I may as well mention the types of accommodations, supports, adaptations, and modifications.
No?
Alright, so first there's supports. These are generally something like specially designed instruction or special education. Also there is adaptive education, which is change to what or how a child is taught or works at school. Lastly, other related services like physical therapy, speech-language pathology, interpreting services, social work services, mobility services, counseling, and other services all fall under that category related services.
Is that all?
Nope, there are also supplementary aids and services, which consist of help like peer tutors, adapted equipment, assistive technology, or one-on-one aid. IEPs also outline program modifications and supports for the child's instructors, getting training for the child's needs, getting help from a coworker, having an aide in the classroom, or getting special teaching materials or equipment fall under this category. Lastly, if a child needs an accommodation on or exemption from the state or district-wide assessment, the IEP must explain why that test is not suitable for the child, and how the child will be assessed instead.
Okay, great, so the other two are pretty much the same.
Absolutely not, they're honestly like opposites.
What, no?
Yes, modifications are a change in the material or expectations, making an assignment easier, for example.
So what accommodations just help the student overcome or work around their disability?
Exactly, now you're getting it.
Okay, great, so leave.
Children with disabilities need to have as much access to the general curriculum so they may be exposed to the same rigor of information as their peers, and be a part of the school as a whole.
My stove.
Accommodations and parent-teacher support are vital in giving students these opportunities. As an education, it is our jobs to ensure that every student has an environment conducive to learning so the student may focus on enriching their education rather than struggling to stay afloat.
So, you're done?
I think so.
It seems like you're done.
I feel pretty done.
Will you leave? I'm honestly afraid for my stove.
Okay, but...
No buts.
I ate all of your pasta.
What?
Raw.
Raw pasta?
Yes, I was waiting for you to come home and I was hungry. Sorry?
Please just go.
Okay.
Oh no, my stove. Look what you have done.
Where you